Hi, afternoon. I am so glad that you are back. It's another Friday. Gonna have another conversation. And as I promised last week, today we'll be talking about moving on. As I had tried to differentiate um, between letting go and moving on, just to make it clear to everyone that there is a huge difference between the two. And when you ask one to do one, it doesn't necessarily mean that they will eventually get to the next or do the next and then eventually come back to the first. And I believe that letting go is the first step, which is hard, yes. And I believe that moving on is also pretty difficult. So now, moving on, an example that I can make for about moving on, I would say it's like it's gonna be a silly one, and I'm bad with examples, so hang in there. So let's say you are chilling alone, have ordered your food, or you were cooking this nice meal for one, and then a visitor comes in, and well, you didn't count them, and the meal is too nice for you to share it. And then they come, you guys just spend your time, and then it's time for them to leave. And then when they finally leave, you're excited that they're leaving now. So now I can go back to my meal. So now you're doing your goodbyes, and then they finally step out of the door. You would choose to watch them leave, like bye friend, make sure that they get to their car safely, or maybe you walk off the corridor safely, or whatever. You can wait by your door and watch them leave, or you get them to your door, they step out, you step back in, you close the door, and you go back to your life. Moving on is you letting them go and coming back in, closing the door and coming back to your life. It's when you've made a decision that they've left and there's nothing more that you can do. So it's time for you to move on, go back to your life. If you were at school, it's time for you to go back to school. If there are some relationships that you broke there, it's time for you to fix them. You just really want to go back to your life, and this time you're going back with the knowledge that this person is not coming back, and I've made peace with it and I'm okay with it. So right now it's fine. I can be happy now. I can go back to that position where they left me. Because remember, when they leave, it's not like we were walking with them every step of the way. Like, if they leave, then it means that there's nothing left for you to do or to live for on this earth. It just means that now you've accepted that they can go and you can go back to that position and move on with your plans. When my father passed, I was rewriting my 20 my grade 11 paper. I had we were waiting for our reports. I had finished my exams. So now that meant that moving on, me going back to my life with my family, my grandparents, my friends, me. I also got my ID around that time. So it meant that yes, my father is gone, but there's still a lot of things that I still need to do on this earth. An example would be me having my ID, me looking forward to my results from grade 11, me looking forward to grade 12. It just meant moving on, right? So now, it's not that I had really made peace with it, but I moved on. It's moving on is even you getting up every morning, because one can choose to really dwell in that moment so much so that you can't even move. It's like you take your precious time to heal, and it's not sickness. It's okay. I mean, we heal different, we process things different. So now, if I can go back to last week's example of the feather, it's me opening my hands, letting go of this feather, and letting it go. And as soon as it starts floating in the air, I turn my back and I go back to inside the house or from wherever I was coming from, and just letting it go. At that time, it doesn't even matter what direction that thing will be going, because I've decided to let it go. This can happen in 10 years' time, 20 years' time, a week after, or on that very day. On that very day, normally, I'd say that it is when it's when I lost my uncle a month after losing my father, 2 months after losing my father. He was sick. He was sick. So instead of me dwelling in that moment and mourning more and all, it was a Sunday. The following day, I did go to school. So I chose to move on immediately because somehow I felt like he was resting. He is in a better place now. And it's okay. I mean, he's resting. So sometimes we just have to understand and just be fine with what is happening. And at that moment, we feel like the world, the universe is punishing us. God is punishing us. Like, why me? It's you, because that is God is doing what is necessary for you to come out on the other side. You have to go through this one thing for you to. I had to go through everything that I've went through in this life for this very moment. Right now, when I talk to you about death, when I say that you will get over it, you will be okay. If you allow yourself to be okay, you will be okay. It's not something that I'm dreaming about, something that I think you can do, something that I know is possible. So now, if I was told then that one day I will be able to sit here and talk about this, and that I'll be able to help whoever I'm helping right now, I wouldn't have believed it, because it hurt so bad. But I'm grateful that everything that happened, because right now I have this opportunity to talk about everything that happened to me, hoping that I'll be able to relate with the next person and help you find your way forward and look at what you're going through in a different from a different perspective, clearer and in a more positive way. What I can promise you is that if you allow yourself to heal, you will heal, and one day you will look back and actually understand why it was you, why nobody else, why, yes, why not you. That's what I mean. So it's painful, yes, it's hard, but you'll get through it. You will be okay, because I believe in you, even though I did not believe in myself then that one day I'll be standing here. But thank you for your time. See you again next week. Love yourself, and I also love you. Bye.